Hi everyone, this is a very realistic, not glamorized in any way, yoga video, and you can see that it's pretty early in the morning and I've almost finished my very first Mahashivrati Sadhana session for this year. I did it last year for 40 days before the Mahashivrati night. And this year, 40 days before the 24th of February, which is the night, I had my father here and we had dust covering everything. He was sleeping in the room with us, so there was 4 of us in one room sleeping, and there was literally nowhere for me to start my sadhana. So I thought, right, I've got to be realistic and let's do it at 21 days. So 21 days is the next step, the next jump. So last night I was prepared. I got my candle out ready to light for this morning, but I also lit the fire so it was warm enough for me. So candle, lamp, fire, it's all aflame. I think it's all pretty good. Unfortunately, I've run out of the wicks for my oil lamps, so I had to light horrible petroleum candle. Who does that? Lots of people, but I generally don't. I don't like that kind of candle anymore. I love these. I use sesame oil in my lamps. Then in my little bowl I put my chickpea flour, just a couple of big spoonfuls, just so it was ready. I didn't put in the mix, the water mix, and this is for basically cleansing your body in the shower. And you can tell chickpea flour because it's got a slightly yellowish tinge to it. And so that's instead of the herbal wash, which is what they suggest on the Isha Foundation guidelines. I didn't have time to buy the herbal stuff, and I tried last year and it was all sold out, and this worked really well for me last year. It makes your skin really, really soft and amazing, especially when you've done it for a week or two. But even after the first day of rubbing it on your skin, literally dry, you've just got the paste on your skin, and then you wash it off with water, feels so lovely. And then just for a bit of extra, I used my body brush and got that lovely zingy feeling of rubbing it on me. So that was a lovely way to wake up. And then I finished, because we don't really have any other heating, it's quite chilly and they suggest use cold water for your shower. So I start off warm just to kind of warm me up a bit, and then I finish cold. So I get the blast of cold at the end. And for me, that's what's right for me at the moment. So I also did my neti pot, my cleansing in my nostrils to clear inside my head. And I've literally only just started that again the last 2 weeks. And it's taken about a week and a half to clear all the horrible gunk that had piled up over the 6 months that I hadn't been doing it. And now it's running smooth, clearly, freely, easily, much faster, and I feel much clearer in my head. It's amazing. So that's not part of the Mahashivrati guidelines, but it's just one of the yogi things that I do. So after my wash, the only thing that I might do, I don't do this every day, is put a little bit of some kind of nice oil just on my lips here. But Satguru, my guru, says that you shouldn't really coat your skin in any kind of cream or oil, because some people do it everywhere, kind of every day for their kind of beauty process. But actually it just closes up your pores, clogs them up, and it kind of stops your skin from really breathing. So I don't put anything on my skin apart from a bit of that on my lips or my really healthy lip seal that I've got, and that's handy just to take about with you. So the other thing I did last night was write down all of my guidelines quickly in my book. Last year for Mahashivrati I printed it all off at work, and I haven't got those anymore, they're in a box somewhere. So I wrote it down. But it's amazing, because I did it for 40 days, the tunes came back to me really quickly. I knew the tunes were kind of there anyway in my head. And the words, the first one, the Yoga Yogi Yogeshvaraya, I did it 9 times, and by the 9th time I could close my eyes and I knew it off by heart already. So I'd remembered it in that whole year. So I did that 12 times, the Yoga Yoga Yogeshvaraya chant, and then I did 12 cycles of Shiva Namaskar. Now, we had absolutely no internet last night or today, it's still conked out, we had some high winds. So I kind of did a few rounds of what I could remember from last year, but I knew it wasn't right and it wasn't perfect. And I thought there's no point me doing this not accurately or correctly, because that's one of Satguru's things. Do it properly, otherwise, you know, you could do yourself some harm. So I stopped that, and then just finished off with my 3 rounds of Om Sarvebhyo Devibhyo Namaha chant. And then I carried on with my other practices. So after that I did my preparatory poses for Isha Foundation Yoga, which is the butterfly, the rock the baby, and the cat stretch pose. And they've got yogi names as well. And if you're an Isha meditator, you'll know what they are. And then I went straight into Surya Kriya. I did 1 round of Surya Kriya, and then I did the Om chanting with the alternate nostril breathing at the beginning. So the last thing for me to do is to have my mixture, and when it's your first time it'll be, oh my god, overpowering. And my daughter's come to the door because she wants to watch me do this. But basically in here I've got a mixture of 10 whole peppercorns, no more than 10, and lemon juice and honey. And I basically soaked that overnight, so it makes the peppercorn softer and easier to kind of crunch and chew, but it's pretty powerful. So this is the last bit. Here goes. Wish me luck. I'm going to start with 3. Sweet and sour. Oh, the peppers are kicking in. Back of the throat. Woo! Making my eyes water. You're supposed to have a handful of raw peanuts soaked in water overnight, but there aren't any around here. Bear with me while I finish this. Okay, so I've done that. So yeah, normally now, like last year, every morning I'd have a cup of soaked peanuts. But in France here, I can't find raw peanuts anywhere, and I'm pretty good at holding out until 12 noon not eating, so I'll be fine. Twice a month I fast for nearly a whole day. You just have dinner basically, so I'm really used to that. So yeah, for these 21 days I won't eat until 12 noon, until after 12 noon. Today I need to make myself a black cloth to tie around my left arm, because I'm a woman. For a man you do your right arm, and it's suggested that it's 12 inches long and 1 inch in thickness. Now last year I sewed some proper hems on it, but it almost made it too robust and strong, so I'm going to cut it and have a single thickness, and then I think it'll have a bit more give, because 12 inches didn't seem long enough to go around my reasonably petite biceps. I don't know how men do it with big muscles. And then the culmination on the 24th of February this year. It's 2017 this year. I'm going to do that with a friend at her house in Reading, because I'm going back to England tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing the Yoga Yogeshvaraya chant 112 times at some point in the night. And then I'm going to take off my black cloth and I'm going to burn it and take the ashes and I'm going to rub it on my forearms here, and I'm going to rub it on my legs as well, and then I'll have a wash afterwards, and then I'll drive home and sleep, and then it's my mum's wedding the next day. So that's kind of how much of a dedicated yogi I am, even with a wedding the next day where I'm speaking in the church and reading a French poem and all sorts. I'm still going to be doing this. And the other thing is, last year I was in my little flat in Wokingham, so every day was the same. It would be on the carpet with my yoga mat, you know, electric lights and all that. And here I'm going to actually be travelling around. I'm going to Bath, I'm going to Henley-on-Thames, may or may not be going to Cambridge or London, so I have to kind of keep up this practice in other people's houses and just kind of hope that it's not going to disturb their lifestyle too much, and hope that they'll understand that this is something that's important for me. Yeah, I want to kind of almost compare my experience of last year with this year. Last year, the actual night of Mahashivrati was pretty powerful. It was my first time ever. I'd only been an Isha meditator for a couple of months, and it must have been about a good 4 hours, especially after the special thing that you do with Satguru. We did it live on satellite TV. A good 4 hours after that, I was feeling extremely energised. My spine was kind of all tingly, really kind of lively and awake, right until kind of 3 or 4 in the morning. I stayed up all night. I drove home at 6 something in the morning and it was getting light. Took me a while to recover, it must say, from that lack of sleep. Hang on, sweetie. And yeah, so this time, after having about nearly a year and a half of being an Isha meditator and doing regular practice, I'm hoping that this time round it's going to be even more strong and powerful, and that's the aim. Woo! Exciting! I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, signing off. I hope you found this Yoga Isha Mahashivrati video interesting. This is Heidi. She tried to actually say some of the chant this morning, and for her, me doing yoga is totally normal and everyday thing. And thank you, Heidi, for being so amazing and letting me do all this crazy stuff. It's much appreciated. And I must go. Bye-bye. Ready to start the day. I forgot, I am actually going to do another Mahashivrati video while I'm in England, just to see kind of how it's going, and I'll talk about the actual physical practice of the cycles of Shiva Namaskar and how that makes me feel, because I remember last year it made me feel really strong in my body and my muscles got really strong. It's an amazing process. And then I'll do a video about what the Mahashivrati night, culmination night, on the 24th of February, what that was like for me this time round. So maybe 3 or 4 videos, we'll see how it goes. Don't forget to subscribe!
Hang on.
What do you want to say?
I do videos too.
She does, Heidi does videos too. Subscribe to our channel and press like. Woohoo!
See ya!